Hello there from PortAventura World in Salou, Spain. It's good to be back at this wonderful theme park for the next 2 days, and there's going to be 2 vlogs here on Your Experience Guide. It is a solo trip for me, Scott. Do love a trip to PortAventura, and when the flight's a £40 return to Reyes from Manchester, you just can't say no to that. So it is a midweek visit for me, and it is PortAventura Halloween season. However, with it being midweek, not everything is open. I'm actually stood in front of one of the scare maze entrances, which is unfortunately closed. There is like a skeleton Halloween offering. Skeleton, excuse the pun. But yeah, there's one scare maze open today, which I have got booked. I have forgot my sunglasses, which is why I'm shielding my eyes. I always forget my sunglasses when I come abroad. It's ridiculous, really. But yeah, I've got one scare maze booked. Got to check out some of the shows that are on, and just really excited to be back at this wonderful theme park. Now, a quick note on the channel, we're 400 subs away from 40,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do, because we're so close to 40,000 subs now. And it would be amazing if we could do that before the end of the year. And also, if you are enjoying this video as you're watching it, please hit that like button. So I have no plan for today, other than I have got the scare maze to do later on. So it is a case of see where the day goes in this vlog. This is the 14th or 15th year of visiting this park, maybe more. But yeah, just before I got here this morning, my mum sent me a picture of us here as a family from 14 years ago. Actually thinking about it, my first visit was in 2006, not 2009, so I've been visiting even longer. But since 2009, I've been here every year with the exception of 2020. So that probably tells you how much I actually love this theme park. So time to go and check it out, see what the Halloween stuff's like, go and do some rides, hopefully catch some shows, and probably do a food review somewhere along the way. Let's go. First ride of the day, Shambala. Look at that queue. There is no queue. A little bit quieter than it was in June, that's for sure. Just going to walk straight on it. October weekdays for the win. Rides on Shambala in 30 minutes thanks to that walk on queue line, and there were 3 excellent rides as well. Really enjoyed it. And you know, you can really appreciate a roller coaster a lot more when you don't have to queue 2 hours for it. I can't help thinking back to June when we queued 2 hours for it in what was a horrendously sweaty, stinky and vile queue line full of queue jumping. So it's nice to sort of reset my memories of Shambala by being able to lap it basically with no queue while it's on 2 trains. And it's still warm, so it's still stinking in that queue line, but you can just walk straight on it, so you can kind of ignore it. One thing I will say is, and it's a little bit weird, they're being very strict on where people sit, so they're not letting anyone sit on the back row, which is really quite annoying. But 3 rides in 30 minutes, I really cannot complain at that, and it's made me appreciate that coaster so much more, because I've actually gone on it without being annoyed at the queue line. So yeah, really pleased about that. Next up is going to be Dragon Con. If that's walk on, I won't be doing it 3 times because I value not having a headache. But yeah, great start to the day here at PortAventura. Next up, Dragon Con. Look at that queue behind. Don't know how I'm going to handle these queues today. So many rides are going to get done today. Don't know how I'm going to handle this. nice and quiet on Dragon Con. Waited about 5 minutes, ended up in row 4 on the end, so it was a little bit bumpy. Again, they're loading from the front onwards. Usually when it's busy, you'll only get front row if you've got fast pass, but today they're just wavering that because there's literally nobody's using fast pass, so they're just loading it from the front to the back. So I've been quite unlucky with the batching so far, but when you don't have to queue very long, it really does not matter. So good to get back on it. It was a little bit bumpy on the head, so I'm only doing it the once, but the queue hasn't built up on this or Shambala, so may come back to them later on. But now I'm going to make my way around the park and see what the rest of the queues are like. It's not all quiet here at PortAventura. Hurricane Condor currently has a 40-minute queue. I'm going to give that one a miss for now. However, that brings me around to where the scare maze is, which is Apocalypse Maya, I think it is. I'll confirm that shortly. Yeah, Apocalypse Maya. It's actually in the Temple of Fire building an area, so obviously that's not going to be open. I don't think I've done that for about 10 years, to be honest. It's always closed. But yeah, this cost me €5 to do this maze. I'm going to go and give it a shot now, and I'll let you know how we get on with it. So, Apocalypse Maya, really good scare maze. Really not bad for €5. It lasted about 10 minutes. It used all of the queue line for Temple of Fire, and then used the inside building of Temple of Fire, including bits that you would have seen in the show, and there's fire effects, the skeletons coming up and splashing you. Really good, lots of scare actors. It would have been better to do it in the dark, especially the outside sections, but it was really enjoyable. I think obviously it closes at 6 o'clock today, so I'm not going to get to do it in the dark, but for €5, really enjoyed that. And from what I can see now, the park is actually picking up in terms of queues, so I might actually have to do some waiting for the coasters. It took me about 15 minutes to get in the scare maze though, so not bad really. I'm going to check the Stampeder queue. I'm now in the far west area, so hopefully not too long to wait for it. About a 15-minute wait for Stampeder, not too bad. It's on reduced capacity today, which is actually not a bad thing because it meant that I didn't have to take my bag on. So camera equipment got left in the station and was not bouncing around on the ride, so really happy about that. But on a busy day that is not possible. You have to take your bags on when they're running on 2 trains on each side, but today just 1 train on each side. Went on the blue side, front row, so my batching bad luck has finally run out. Finally got a front row ride on something. I do enjoy that coaster, especially when you're not worrying about a camera bag bouncing around by your feet, but it needs some new trains. I think we say that in every PortAventura vlog. Stampeder would be a great coaster if it had decent wooden coaster trains on it, which it currently definitely doesn't have. It has wretched trains with those really uncomfortable lap bars which dig into your legs the whole way around. If it wasn't for them, it'd be one of the best woodies in Europe, I think, because you get a lot of airtime. It's a proper classic wooden coaster, but with those trains, it's just not very comfortable. Uncharted is the new roller coaster here at PortAventura. It opened in June. 40-minute queue at the minute, so I'm actually going to give it a miss. I'm going to come back to it later on, but 40 minutes is a long time when everything else is pretty quiet. It's an Intamin multi-launch roller coaster. It spins, goes forwards, goes backwards. I'll put some on-ride shots in it now, shortly after I finish talking, just in case don't get on it today, but we were able to film a POV on it, which is mostly dark to be fair, when we were here for the opening in June. So I'll show that now, and then if I do get to go on the coaster, I'll talk more about it later. If I don't get on it today, on the day 2 vlog that I'm going to do here, I will come straight to it and do it early on. But for now, here's some on-ride footage, not much, but some on-ride footage of Uncharted, the new roller coaster here at PortAventura.
¡Preparados! ¡Fuego!
Habéis encontrado la sala del tesoro, chicos.
October, but it's log flume weather, and that's probably a good thing because no queue. So I'm going to go and have a go on the Silver River Flume here at PortAventura. Don't know if I can film on it today, so I will include the footage of when we could film on it in June when we were on the press day.
There we go on the log flume then. Oh dear. Always good for a soak in this log flume, always. There we go. No, all good. I'm all good. All good.
Walk straight onto the log flume then. Really good log flume, really enjoy it. I'll be honest, I hope they never get rid of it. It's one of my favourite rides here. I always enjoy a log flume anyway, but this one, especially with a big final drop, is so good. It's just, it can be a soaker, as you may have seen from some of our old videos on it, but today, because I was in the boat on my own, not so bad. Bit damp, but shoes are dry, feet are dry, just got a bit on the top, so not too bad really, and I've cooled down now, but it's absolutely roasting here. It's so much warmer than I was expecting, but they are predicting thunderstorms later, so that might have something to do why it's so muggy. About a 5-minute wait for the rapids by the looks of it, so might as well go and jump on it now, straight after the log flume. Another good water ride here, so looking forward to it. Waited about 10 minutes for the rapids. They were putting groups in on their own, which you don't mind that when there's no queue. It means that you're not going in with a load of strangers, so that was good. Really enjoyed it. Actually didn't get wet at all, but it's a fun ride, one of the really enjoyable rapids rides out there, and something you always have to do when you come to PortAventura. So far I've had 3 laps on Shambala, go on Dragon Khan, go on Stampeder, go on the log flume, go on the rapids. I've done a scare maze. A pretty good start to the day. it is really, really quiet. Really enjoying my time here. Love the Halloween atmosphere around the park. Gonna try and catch a show later on. Just headed back round to the front of the park for a lap on Furious Bacco, only to find it's actually closed this afternoon. They're running it on rotation due to maintenance issues, so it was open when park opened and then they've closed it at 1 o'clock and it's back open tomorrow from 1 o'clock. So I'll have to remember that when I'm here tomorrow, because I always enjoy going on Furious Bacco, but I'm not overly disappointed that it's closed today because it's something that I only do once a trip when I come over here. I actually really like Furious Bacco, I just haven't got it in me to go on it as much as I used to. I used to just absolutely love running around and re-riding it when it was quiet, but can't do that anymore. But yeah, shame to see it closed, but if it's for maintenance reasons then it's perfectly understandable. It's showtime here at PortAventura. Gonna watch Halloween Factory now. Starts in about 20 minutes. As you may have seen from that very short clip, I've had a hot dog and I've still got my Estrella damn yard. The hot dog was absolutely rank, so I won't be having another one of them. It actually took 25 minutes to get the hot dog and the drink. So with so many catering outlets closed here today, it's a bit of a pain to get food and drink. That's one of the issues with off-peak PortAventura, is a lot of catering units are closed all through the park, and it's the same in Ferrari Land as well. But like I say, once I finally got it, the hot dog was terrible, but the Estrella Dam was always good. So yeah, time for Halloween Factory. Looking forward to it. Halloween Factory, it was alright. It was a bit of an odd one for a PortAventura show. It actually lacked a catchy soundtrack, and a lot of the music choices in there were so-so. There wasn't anything catchy in there, which is really odd for a PortAventura show. Normally you come out of one of the shows in this park and you've got the music in your head for about 3 months, but no, Halloween Factory, didn't like the soundtrack that much, and just the show wasn't, there wasn't any catchy music in there really, which is really odd. The scenes, lots of fire, lots of effects, lots of gymnastic stuff. It was really, really good show to watch. It was just lacking in a good soundtrack. That's all I would say. But while I was in there, there's been a massive downpour. The mugginess has cleared and it's actually quite chilly now. But it's nearly time for the PortAventura parade. So good to be back at PortAventura today. Obviously not been on Furious Baco and Uncharted. We'll hopefully get on those tomorrow, and hopefully Hurricane Condor do too. Cover those in tomorrow's vlog hopefully. Hopefully no issues getting on those. I know it's not been the longest vlog in the world, but when there's only one of you, there's only so much talking you can do. I'd just like to try and keep it to the point as best I can. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had a really, really good day, and I hope that's shown through in the video. So if you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button, and please do subscribe to the channel as we are so close to 40,000 subscribers. Many thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next PortAventura video.